Final day of pool play at the 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships here at Fort Moore, Georgia. Dan Hawkins, Joel Himes, and first game of the day, and it's the Navy and the Marine Corps. Let's turn it over to the public address announcer for the starting lineups between the Marines and Navy.
All right, let's get ready for our first game of the day. Keep the tournament going. All right, starting off the festivities today, we have the Navy versus the U.S. Marine Corps men. Let's give it up for the visiting team. First up, we have number 11, Brody Lindstrom. Number 12, Kenichi Nwosu. Number 0, Asan Niang. Number 15, Trey Keaton. And number 1, Jack Brunswick. Give it up for the visiting team. Let's get ready to make some noise for the home team. Number 4, Will Rogers. Number 2, Karan LeBron. Number 15, Cam Williams. Number 14, Nyan Ashley. And number 23, Jalen Punter. We also have some of the best officiants in the world with us today. We have Mike, Ed, and Brandon. Give it up for our officiants.
Starting lineups have been introduced on the floor, and Navy and Marine Corps about ready to go. A little different look for both squads today as we conclude pool play. Not much on the line in this game, but pride. So Navy looks like this. Asan Niang out of the Bronx, New York, gets his first start of the tournament. Jack Brunswick, a lieutenant junior guard out of the Coast Guard, also in the starting lineup. Brody Lindstrom is in the lineup for the first time. Kenichi Nwosu gets his first start. Trey Keaton, his first start for Micah Bonner. Marines under Brandon Mitchell look like this, and it's a pretty formidable lineup. Karen LeBron, Will Rogers, Nyan Ashley, Cameron Williams, and Jalen Punter. So, partner, away we go with Navy Marines.
Even with the change in lineups, I expect a very competitive game. We've seen many of these players here on the floor play key roles as reserves and contribute to their team. So we should still see some exciting basketball action this afternoon.
Navy comes into this game with a 4-1 record in pool play. Their spot in the championship game is assured. As a shot put up by Nwosu, and he's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Nwosu is stationed at Naval Station, Norfolk. The Marine Corps men come in, Joel, with a 1-4 record. But they were the only squad to beat this very formidable Navy side during this tournament.
Yes, and again, like you stated, both teams, especially Marine Corps, are still playing for pride. I expect them to end this tournament on a high note, even without the possibility of making the championship game. And that starts here today.
I talked to both head coaches before the game, and basically they said the same thing. It's a young guy game. And Coach Michael Bonner said, hey, because I ask him every day, hey, what's your tagline? As you see a nice move to the bucket by Niang. But he said, hey, seize the opportunity. Niang did just that.
Right. These aren't just basketball teams. These are basketball programs. So you're building for the next year, even though this tournament isn't over. You'll see what you have for 2025 as punter takes a spill on the ground, gets up. Hopefully he's okay.
He looks all right. So Will Rogers to inbound here. Of course, the Marines, not their final game. They'll still have a consolation bracket game tomorrow. And they'll play the loser of the Air Force Army game that will come later on today. Lindstrom for 3.
Yeah, Navy, on the other hand, they have a lot to play for tomorrow. I know they'll be watching this afternoon's Army-Air Force game intently, preparing for their opponent in the championship game.
Punter with the bucket for the Marines. And just what you'd expect out of a Brandon Mitchell squad, a full court press and a foul. Cam Williams picks up his first of the game.
Yeah, the Marines have utilized full court pressure for a good part of the tournament, forcing the issue, getting passing lanes, creating turnovers, leading to transition buckets. And even with the change in lineup, we still see the same philosophy.
Just underway at the Smith Fitness Center. Day 6 of this tournament. It's been a lot of fun. Shot on the way is down for Trey Keaton. That's a 3, and Navy with the lead.
And this is another opportunity, especially for Navy, to kind of see which some of their reserves in game action they might be able to insert into the lineup to contribute to tomorrow's championship run.
Cam Williams contributes a bucket right there. Marines back up on the high side by a stick man. Brody Lindstrom wants a quick 3, nailed it. That's a smooth shot.
Absolutely, smooth as silk, touched nothing but nylon.
8-6 Navy. Nyan Ashley works his way into the paint. Young guys looking good here early.
Nyan Ashley has had a very good tournament. He's contributed in other games, very active and athletic. You see the top of that press. He has a good future for this program.
All knotted up at 8. Keaton loses the ball. Last touched by the Marines. And a turnover for the Marines. I don't think Nwosu was ready for that pass.
Not only is Navy allowing some of its younger players to play, I see a different coach up, giving orders. Coaches developing this program all the way around. That's a good sign to see. That's a sign of a championship program.
Navy assistant coach Dennis Murphy leading the squad today. Mike Bonner told me earlier in the tournament that he really likes Murphy and his impact on the program as Ashley buries a shot.
Ashley's establishing his mark here early in the game. But yeah, that's a good sign to see from Coach Bonner, letting Coach Murphy develop game situations different than practice and games. You know, rotation, strategy, on the fly, time scored in situations. So it's a different feeling.
And a quick whistle. Karen LeBron picks up the foul. It's kind of like learning how to drive. There's only one way to learn.
By getting in the driver's seat and
yes,
doing
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Actually had Coach Murphy on for a half with me, I believe on day 2 of that tournament. That was a lot of fun. 10-8 the score, Marines with the lead.
Yeah, it's been pretty good talking to some of the coaches, gaining insight in some of their philosophies, what they think about other teams, their own teams, looking forward to their next games. That's been awesome.
And a fight for the loose ball and a tie-up situation. And the basketball will stay with Navy here. Joshua Wallace, another young guy for Brandon Mitchell, checks into the lineup. Jacody Ross also into the Marine lineup for the first time today.
The newcomers will be better off after this experience in the next couple of years, just having gotten a taste of Armed Forces basketball.
Nwosu gets a taste right there. This game's tied at 10. What a dunk.
Over the 6'10" Wallace. That was incredible.
Nwosu just blocked a shot. Let's look at that last play again, the dunk.
And with the left hand there.
That was sweet.
Avoiding the contact.
Niang on the other end whistled for a foul. That'll put Cam Williams at the free throw line. And he gets the first one to drop. Dakota Ayala has checked in for the first time for Navy.
He's had a pretty good tournament, Ayala, for Navy, averaging 9.8 points per game, oftentimes spelling their starting center, Matthew Sellers. Navy has two very dependable and reliable centers down low who help the team.
Shot on the way is missed, and here come the Marines. Joe Garello is into the game for the Marine Corps. Almost lost it. Ross to Wallace, baseline, yes.
Nice touch by Wallace off the feed from LeBron.
Ross lays it up and in. Timeout on the floor. Dennis Murphy and Navy want to talk about it. 6-point lead for the Marines. Back after this. Six-point lead for the Marines here. 14:07 to play first half. First game of the day here from Fort Moore, Georgia. So glad you could spend part of, what day is it, partner? Wednesday. Wednesday?
We're about to get over the hump.
We've been broadcasting since Friday. Great job all week by our second audio-visual squadron crew, as that bucket is up and in for Niang. He's got 4 points in the game.
We saw Niang in his first action yesterday, and he had a very impressive showing. Active on the defensive end, made some plays for his teams, as we see there, capable of finishing at the rim.
Stewart came down with the rebound, now wrestling with Ayala, and it's Brunswick who comes up with it for Navy.
Brunswick's had a great run as well, playing backup point guard, coming in, running the offense, and a couple of outside shots.
Brunswick had those 2 big threes in yesterday's game against Army. That was a 64-57 win for the Navy. 3 players in double figures in that game clinched a spot in the championship game. As Ayala launches a 3.
Yeah,
No.
In a very meaningful game, Jack Brunswick had 12 points yesterday.
Yeah. I'm sure that caught his coach's attention.
And again, that's what you want. I mean, it's one thing to go through trial camp, go through practices, but until you get here in tournament play, game situations, your coach really doesn't know what he has until you perform under the lights.
Cody Ross at the free throw line. Trey Keaton, the offending party for his first foul of the game, 13th foul on Navy. Marines a perfect 3 of 3 at the free throw line so far this afternoon. Make it 4 of 4 and 4 for Jacody Ross. Back to a 6-point lead for the USMC. Navy being patient on the offensive end. Wide open look for Niang, in and out.
That's Navy's calling card, patience. They have executed their offense well. They know what they want to do. They're organized. They move the ball. They screen well. It's been a beautiful thing to watch.
Ayala squared up on Stewart, couldn't make the shot. And Jacody Ross, full head of steam. Shot on the way for LeBron. No. Nwosu down with the rebound.
Nwosu and Lance Stewart battling, and after Nwosu's dunk over Wallace, I think those might be 2 of the best athletes in the tournament, both capable of playing above the rim. We saw Wallace catch one off the glass. We've seen alley-oop attempts to him. So that'll be a matchup to watch, a fun matchup to watch.
Trey Keaton with 5 points now. Lead down to 4 for the Marines, 11:34 to play and counting here in the first half. Niang wisely slows it down. Now, though, goes right into the paint and draws the foul.
You mentioned Trey Keaton earlier, and he's just an example of someone who has stuck to it the last couple of years trying to make this team. He's been cut a couple of times before, finally made it this year. So it's good to see him, you know, getting some run here in this game.
The first free throw missed by Niang. Coach Bonner told me on the day before the tournament started that he was so excited for Trey Keaton to be here and get his opportunities. And when he talks about seize the opportunity, those are the kind of guys he's talking about.
Trey Keaton is the epitome of that. And he might has a chance to leave here with the medal.
3-point Marine lead. Cam Williams wants to add. No. The rebound taken down by Niang. And Brody Lindstrom waits for his teammates in the backcourt. And Keaton will run the offense right here. Left-handed shot. And Karen LeBron down with the rebound.
LeBron has played some meaningful minutes for the Marines in his reserve role. He's one of the de facto leaders with this young lineup on the court today.
Nice block from Ayala there, Joel.
Ayala's been very active on the inside, offensively and defensively. A big body, and he will be a major contributor moving forward, especially in tomorrow's championship game.
He's definitely had to play a lot of foul trouble. And spelling Sellers, Navy with those big trio of big men, right? Like Ayala, Sellers, Nelson.
Yes, and with Ayala and Sellers, you know, it's take your pick. Ayala could start on a lot of teams, if not his own team. You know, just with Ayala and Sellers, they don't play together.
Brody Lindstrom from downtown. He's got 2 triples.
And you have to love the bench erupting in cheers for their teammates here, again, who some haven't seen a lot of action through the tournament. So it just shows that cohesion and camaraderie and chemistry among the teams.
6-0 run for Navy. And Lindstrom going to the free throw line. Navy with the chance to take the lead.
It's good to see some of these guys rewarded. I know they've been working hard in practices. It's good for them to get some run here.
Cam Williams picks up foul number 2. And so Lindstrom at the free throw line. First time we've seen Brody Lindstrom in this tournament. I like his shot.
Yeah, the rotation coming off the flick of the wrist. Again, it touches nothing but net.
Another one of those guys, he was the last cut last year for Micah Bonner. And came back this year, a little more polished, worked on the things coach told him to work on, and he made the team.
It just shows the perseverance and guys' level of resilience, not giving up, not quitting, and still getting after it. It means a lot to all these servicemen and women to be on their all-service team.
Turnover, 6 points in the game for Nyan Ashley.
And again, Ashley, he was part of the Marines rotation the first couple of games. So he's kind of used to game action in the 6 of 7 days.
Well, Rogers kicks it out of the paint. Cam Williams and Rogers in a little 2-man game. Rogers for 3.
You can't back up off of Will Rogers. He doesn't mind pulling the trigger.
Niang takes the shot. Williams can't connect, but the Marines save the basketball.
We see the athleticism there of Nyan Ashley keeping the ball alive, and that leads to an offensive rebound kick-out 3, this time from Joe Garello, who is another capable three-point shooter. Has 5 trays in this tournament so far. Make that 6.
6-0 run for the Marines right after this. .26-20 to score. The Marines, Joel, have went on a 6-0 run, but it's been pretty fun watching these young guys go toe-to-toe.
It has. We're watching the future, and it's good for their growth and development. And again, coaches seeing what they have in game situations. Who knows? Some might earn some playing time tomorrow.
Brody Lindstrom on the baseline, and Garello pulls down the rebound. Garello wants another 3. This time connects again. 7th tray of the tournament, 6 points.
Good find by Rogers, under control, taking up the slack in the paint. Just a simple drive and kick, ends up in a catch and shoot. Fundamental team basketball in the secondary break.
Turnover. Punter lays it up, and a foul. Niang, the guilty party.
Hunter has shown himself to be capable of attacking the basket. On the opposite end, he's a fierce defender, rebounder, does all the dirty work for the Marines.
Punter from McDonough, Georgia. Stationed in California, so getting an opportunity to come home, not a bad deal.
Yeah, I don't know how many times, being stationed in California gets to fly across country, but again, I know he's glad to be back in Georgia.
Misses the first free throw. Hunter 0 for 2 on that trip. Navy coming down court, trying to break a 9-0 run by the Marines.
Navy getting back to what they do. Their deliberate half-court sets where they execute and they screen, looking for great shots. You rarely see them force the issue.
Ball out of bounds, and that will be Marine basketball, and Navy used every bit of that shot clock.
Absolutely. That was a good defensive possession by the Marines, guarding for 30 seconds. The Marines run one of their pet actions, the elevator screen at the top. Usually we see a John Carter coming off that screen, but today it's a Joe Garello. So he's a highly thought of shooter in this lineup.
Garello smiling after that three. I think he took an extra step back just to see how far he was feeling it today.
Testing his range. Maybe a little heat check after hitting those 2 threes prior to that.
And another turnover. Right now, Marines dominating the defensive end. Nyan Ashley up and in.
Well, good job by Ashley. Could have forced the issue there, but retreated, probed, and waited till he had a better shot opportunity. Good job by him.
5:55 and counting, first half. Garello hauls in another rebound. He's been cleaning up the boards.
It's good to see when guards rebound from the guard spot, not leaking out, all 5 to the boards. Don't always just depend on your post players. Defensive rebounding is a team responsibility.
Trey Keaton picks up his second foul of the game. That's the 15th foul on Navy as Jacody Ross back in the lineup for Cam Williams. Garello for 3, no. And it's Nwosu down with the rebound.
Garello letting it fly early.
Ayala, yes.
Good post move by Ayala, spinning to the baseline. Challenges a shot on the opposite end. Just shows his hustle and transition defense to be able to score and run from rim to challenge his shot in transition. And big men don't get enough credit having to run from paint to paint.
Ayala stationed at U.S. Coast Guard Sector, Wilmington, North Carolina, as Ross puts in the free throw. Ross with 5 points in the game. Ross is at Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. I'm jealous of the location he's going back to after this tournament. Yeah, tough life. 6 points now for him. Hey, I got to go back to Hawaii. 11-point lead. That bucket by Alla last time down the floor for Navy. Stopped that 11-0 run for the Marines. Brody Lindstrom back in the lineup. Turnaround shot. Nwosu with a follow-up, but the second chance, he delivers.
He is bouncy. He is springy. And after that dunk and those putbacks, you see He is a good athlete.
Down low, punter, yes.
And whereas a punter, he'll just punish you with his strength, taking it to the chest of Navy and finishing on the layup.
Approaching 4 minutes to play here in a very fast-moving first half. Niang for three. Garello thought about a three. Spin move at the elbow, too strong. Lindstrom wants another three. No. And a push foul from Jalen Punter. That's going to be the 7th team foul on the Marines. Punter now with 2 fouls, and it's 1-and-1 time for Navy.
Yeah, the Marines have kind of slowly stretched this lead out, so Navy needs to stop the bleeding here. And basketball is a game of runs. Who knows? Maybe Navy might go on a run of their own.
Too strong on the front end of the 1-and-1 for Niang.
Even though the Marines are mathematically out of the equation to earn a chance to defend their gold medal, I love the effort that they're giving. They're playing hard. There's no let up. There's no quit. It's a good sign.
Ashley out of the double team. Shot clock rolls under 10. Ashley, give and go, nice.
And we've said Ashley is arguably the best athlete in this tournament. Excuse me, Lance Stewart that was. Returning the favor.
And a wild alley-oop attempt.
What a jam.
Those are such gems when you see those kind of plays.
Yes.
Keaton stepped back for three and missed it. Let's watch that dunk again.
You see Ashley returning the favor to Nwosu. Nwosu got his teammate on one end. Ashley returns the favor and says, I'll raise you one, partner.
Poster material?
Oh, absolutely. And the photographer's in perfect position. I can't wait to see if he got that shot. Right under the rim there.
That's going in the highlight reel mixtape.
Highlight reel, social media. That won't be the last time we see that tremendous play.
Jacody Ross buries it. He's got 8 points. 15-point lead for the Marines. 2 minutes to play here in the first. Ayala with the friendly roll. He's got 4 points here in this first half.
And it's good to see the Marines get off to a good start in this game after a couple of games where they've had some tough starts and had to battle back from large deficits.
And a traveling violation of turnover. And they'll say the turnover was by the Navy, so they wipe up some moisture here. Might have some high-flying action later, partner, with Army and Air Force playing with a lot on the line.
That is going to be an exciting, competitive, intense, meaningful matchup, Dan. The winner earning a trip to tomorrow's championship game. It's a lot on the line. Can hardly wait.
6 points now for Williams. Lead back to 15 for the Marines. Ayala. Now it's Keaton for 3. And that drops in.
Good job by Brunswick there, making the right pass. Some people will call it the extra pass, swinging the ball into the corner for an open shooter.
$18-footer for Ross. About 2 seconds or so difference between shot and game clock here. Clock winds under 20 seconds to play in the half. Dennis Murphy shouting instructions from the Navy bench. And a foul committed by Williams. That's 3 fouls on Williams here in this first half.
You never want to commit a foul 40 feet from the basket. Now, sometimes you have to sit down, get in a stance, not reach, be disciplined. You know, if you're in the right defensive position as a team, steals will come to you. You don't always have to reach and force the issue on defense.
Brunswick missed the front end of the 1-and-1, so Marines have a shot here. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Ross at the buzzer. No, and a foul. Brunswick picks up the foul. That's his first. And with no time left on the clock, Jacody Ross to shoot 2 here. Oh, they do put .4 now up on the clock.
Ross has shown himself to be aggressive this first half, looking for his shot. A couple of mid-range jump shots, pull-ups.
4 of 5 here in the first half at the free throw line. The Marines shooting just 65% from the charity stripe in this tournament so far. Averaging 76 points a game are the Marines. That one missed. And that is going to be the end of the first half. 41-29 the score. The Marines in a young guy game playing well.
They are good to go to the half with a substantial lead. We'll see if they can string 2 halves together and end this week on a high note.
Don't go anywhere. We'll come back in about 14 minutes with the second half.
What you gonna do when we pull up on you like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when I come through you. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up like, wait, ooh, us now. What you gonna do when we pull up on you like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Ooh, give me that crown. Right now, ooh, don't make a sound, it's my time, you hear the crowd, hey, we need that rain, me and my team, deja vu, this here a dream, we done all seen 100 times over back when we was just teens, now we going dumb, told them we the one, they would count us out, now we counting up the funds, now without a doubt, they be throwing other ones, like they was always rapping, I believe them if you want, now they show love, came with a dub, it is what it is, it isn't what it was, they all love to hate when it don't work out, tell you that they always been down when it does, look. Say, ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up, like, wait, ooh, us now. What you gonna do when we pull up on you, like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Say,
Cinderella, this drip, hella, need an umbrella. What you do, I do better. Step up on the scene like a king, Miss Coretta. If I want it, I can cop it, I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it, got no time to party. I ain't to the money, ain't nobody really for me. Ain't nobody really for me. Girl, give me a fortune, teaching me rolling, in a drop top. Picture me rolling in a drop top. If you want it, I can cop it. I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping. This ain't nothing for you, but you want it, my loving. I got nothing for you, but you want it, my loving. You must have mixed me with the last one. My back's up, I'll be where the cash come. You know I'll never be the last one. I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it, got no time to party. I ain't to the money, ain't nobody really for me. Ain't nobody really for me. Girl, give me a fortune, teaching me rolling in a drop top. Girl, give me a fortune, teaching me rolling in a drop top.
We on a conquest, came a long way, look at the progress. I see no competition, it ain't no contest. You ain't in discussion, not even a prospect. Yeah, you better go and get to meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Might as well call the league up, tell them put the trophy on reservation. Been going up, that's elevation. No holding back, no preservation. Treat off season like postseason, no days off, this dedication.
Game time, don't expect us to play nice. We got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to.
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, no holding back, no preservation, no off days, this dedication. Game time, get out the way, we coming through. Check the hang time, been on top, ain't nothing new. A lot of talk, whole lot of noise, but ain't cutting through. Word on roll, you got a couple L's, you'll have another soon, don't sweat. Whole lot of sacrifice, no regrets. Whole lot of dubs, but ain't done yet. Say you the one, but ain't one yet. Running the game, ain't take one step. Hold up. Yeah, all emotions aside. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line?
Game time, don't expect us to play nice. We got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to.
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line? Came for the dirt, but it ain't no shame. Had to put the work in, grind day by day. All the blood, sweat, tears, no pain, no gain. I was ready for the moment and it came my way. Where the spotlight shine, where they say my name. It's the life I chose, the price I paid. A lot of sacrifices, every day I prayed. Hope it all pays off in the end. I'll play, I wanna win. Seen a lot of things, ain't been the same since. Worked too hard for this, yeah, I'm convinced. Been on the brink, yeah, been on the fence. Now I'm this close to the win-win-win. When the chance came, now I didn't turn back. Loyal to the city, put the team on the map. Pedal to the floor, start running up stats. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. How you gon' play when the game on the line?
used to compare myself to everyone else, afraid of standing out. I push me down, but I can shine so bright, I can laugh. I should never feel worthless. I don't miss that girl from the past. She's never coming back. Spent too long chasing someone I'm not. Let them tell me my strengths weren't enough. But I was raised on Rizzo. I can be hot and not a 00. I'll be my own superhero. Perfectly imperfect, cause this body gives me strength, though. I'm not the girl I thought I would be. But now I wouldn't change a single thing.
Let's go. Hey, step back, look at the wrist. Let go, let it go, switch. Hey, turn the heads, can't miss this. Run it up, it's my fitness. Windows limousine tinted, stay up out of my business. Hey, you can never break me down. Need more to take me out. They was all cool back then, now they wanna hate me now. Funny how it goes. Can I get a countdown and drum roll? No time ain't an option, no. Sit back, watch this unfold. Hey, but it ain't nothing, let me tell you something. Hey, yeah, one shot, one chance. Look, time spot, been a plan. Talking drive time, 100 bands. Yeah, we pull up, got the blind high, been a man. Hey, yeah, one shot, one chance. Look, time spot, been a plan. Talking drive time, 100 bands. Yeah, we pull up, got the blind high, been a man. I got no but gas in the tank, if the wrong guy really wanna come test me, cause he envy every
everything that I got. What I am and he not. Coldest one on the block. You know these boys don't got nothing but excuses. My whole squad been doing their thing, dropping nothing but exclusives. Ooh, I know you see me step back, flossing. Please don't get too close unless you proceeding with caution. Yeah, I broke the moves out. Time got nauseous. We can never settle for no loss. Shit. Hey, but it ain't nothing, let me tell you something. Hey, yeah, one shot, one chance. Look, time spot, been a plan. Talking drive time, 100 bands. Yeah, we pull up, got the blind high, been a man. Hey, yeah, one shot, one chance. Look, time spot, been a plan. Talking drive time, 100 bands. Yeah, we pull up, got the blind high, been a man.
This time, told him that I'm on it. This time, I'ma let him know I'm on it. Can't find love, yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it. I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going in my aim. Putting numbers on the board when I play. Lift the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in, yeah, I'm all in, this time I'm all in.
Y'all walk with the big team, been had the big face, shine with the big screen, been had the juice. Body gon' fill up the coupe, black 10 low without the roof, might send out the truth. Dunkin' like Mac, make lung over Shaq, going crazy, no whipping my all they got hooves. Watch how I snapping they neck, they so I don't need to respect, move, I act the fool. It's ludicrous, watch how I'm coming to your hate league team in the monsters. See, you got shooters, big time rolling up, but bodies can't hit a new rap, John got it, they gun to my shoes. All stain, get some insurance, running with a OG in the doors, better control your breathe.
20 minutes to play between Navy and the Marine Corps. Start of the second half, 41-29 the score, as what we're all fighting for. Beautiful shot by our crew here at the Smith Fitness Center at Fort Moore, Georgia. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines. A young guy game, Joel. It's been a lot of fun, and Coach Bonner told me before the game, he's like, yeah, let's give these young guys an opportunity to seize the moment. Some of them doing just that.
Yes, on his side, Navy, Nuoso, Niang, Keaton, they're having good games. And, you know, on the Marine side, Ashley and Garello and Stewart. There are a lot of names that we've come to know because of this showcase, if you will.
Navy saves the basketball. 8 points for Trey Keaton and Brody Lindstrom for Navy in that first half. Keaton there has it almost stolen away. Joshua Wallace in there in the starting lineup for the Marines in place of Jalen Punter to start the second half. Keaton gets his own miss. Lindstrom wants a three, and it rattles out.
Jack Brunswick is always thinking ahead. No sooner than he got that ball, he was ready to swing it to an open teammate for a great shot, even though it didn't go down.
Brunswick, the lieutenant junior grade out of U.S. Coast Guard Sector Houston. He's also a Georgia native. A lot of players from Georgia, seems like, this week.
Georgia on my mind. Yeah. I know a lot of them are excited to be back in the Peach State. We've enjoyed our time here. The hospitality's been great. The Smith Center and their staff have been tremendous.
The on-base accommodations have been great. Armed Forces sports team has taken great care of us.
All the way around. It's been a class event. Army's hosting this event this year, and they've put on quite a show.
And I drove through the base this morning, and Fort Moore is just really a jewel. As a foul on the floor. It's a jump ball, actually. And the possession arrow will stay with Navy. Right across the street from the Smith Fitness Center, some ranges. Some folks getting in some units, getting in some training this morning. military bases are just unique places to be. And, you know, this tournament is kind of a microcosm of that if you think about it. I mean, we're on a military base, but high-level basketball, you could do both. You could be a soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, coastie, but you can also come in and do things like this, play basketball. I mean, this is a wonderful opportunity that our military personnel are afforded.
Yes, and it really helps recruiting and retention for some graduating high school senior or some young college graduate to be able to continue their career in the military. Maybe they have a sports background in armed forces sports, excuse me. There's some opportunities that you can still compete.
Ashley now with 10 points in the game, and you talked about it. In fact, I talked with Coach Brandon Mitchell before the game. He was talking about a player that is not on his All-Marine team because of other commitments, as there's a shot up from Nwosu, and he gets his shot blocked by Wallace and a foul. But he told me, he said, hey, this guy actually played professional basketball overseas, came into the Marines after COVID shut down his basketball playing, and he's loved it. And so many opportunities to be in the military and still do the things you love.
Yes, and armed forces sports is still growing. The awareness is still getting out there. And, you know, check social media, the website, this live stream, as we continue to, you know, get the word out that this exists for more participation.
14-point lead for the Marines. Niang gets it stripped away. And the Marines on the run.
The biggest thing, Dan, to continue is the camaraderie among the services. And it just doesn't stop here. You have your international SISM and your SHAPE events where we go across the pond, and more camaraderie with international service members. So it just doesn't stop here at Armed Forces Sports.
Nwosu whistled for the foul. That's his second. That's the third on Navy here in the game. As you look at the Marine huddle right there, Navy right there. First game of the day. We've got more coming up, though, Joel, and I think we've got a pretty good one coming up. The Navy and Marine Corps women, both those squads have been steadily improving throughout this tournament. We actually talked to Angela Myers a few minutes ago, and she was great.
Yeah, it was good to have her here. Angela Myers, she's a veteran of the squad. She's one of their unsung heroes, leaders, the glue, always communicating, making plays for other players. She's good on and off the court, and that's the beauty of this tournament. Getting to meet some of the players, learning some of their stories, how they impact their teams, the coaches as well. And with both teams, throw records out the window is going to be a competitive matchup. Both teams will play hard and do their best to earn a win.
Final day of pool play here in this tournament. So a lot of familiarity between these teams as Jacody Ross puts in the bucket his first of the second half. He's got 10 points. And it's back to a 16-point lead. This is the largest lead the Marines have had. They've had 16 earlier in the first half as a dive for the loose ball.
Yeah, the length and the athleticism and getting out on the break is giving Navy fits right now. The Marines are playing well. Again, after a couple of games of getting down, having some deficits to overcome, it's good to see them playing ahead and taking control of this game.
And I guess Navy, the benefit of being in the championship game already, as Karen LeBron puts it in for his first points of the day, but how nice an opportunity to be able to rest a lot of his guys who put in a lot of minutes over this week to get some fresh legs heading into tomorrow's championship game. Essentially
a day off for a bunch of those key players, whereas Army and Air Force will really go after it tonight. No one's going to rest in that game. Navy's going to come in fresh for the championship game tomorrow against whomever their opponent is.
Nyan Ashley with the jam. Let's look at it again. Look at this.
Ashley timing it just perfectly, attacking the offensive glass, playing above the rim, 2 hands for the jam.
20-point lead for the Marines. Will step aside. Largest lead of the game for the Marines. Dan Hawkins, Joel Himes. First game of the day, day 6 here in Georgia. And 49-29 lead for the Marines. This has been kind of just a fun, relaxing game to watch. Not that they're not all fun and relaxing because we're not actually playing, but this has been relaxing.
It is. Again, this game means a lot to both teams, but as the day progresses, we will build to the crescendo of a semifinal-esque game that we're looking forward between the Army men and the Air Force men. The nightcap, you'll have the Army women and the Air Force women, both teams already in the championship game, so it'll be interesting to see how both coaches approach that game. And we'd be remiss not to mention the Marine women against the Navy women next, always competing. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
And Cam Williams will check into the lineup. Just a pleasure as well. We see so many great players on the men's and women's side of the bracket, but the great coaching staffs as well. And, learn so much about the game of basketball just talking with them.
Yes, and listening to each of their different philosophies, many of them great players in their own right, some competing in this tournament in past years, many with college basketball careers. Coach Broomfield, who was on the Navy women's coach, who was drafted by the Detroit Shock in the WNBA. An eclectic mix of individuals, talent, coaches. It's been a great week.
And just to get to meet like Coach Bonner, and see how he's even mentoring a fellow coach, like not just the players, but other coaches. As you see a bucket there from Lance Stewart, his second of the game. But it's just a great environment. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, and again, these are not just teams. These are programs. We still have business to do this week, but they're looking forward to the years to come. We talked to Coach Bonner earlier and how he has recruited and scouted various players, how even the services, when they see a player from another service, will call their service up. Hey, you might want to check out so-and-so. So that's a good sign as well. The mutual respect among everyone.
I think it was Coach Bonner talking about Austin Parker of the Air Force as you have a foul underneath the basket and Nwosu hobbling. Hopefully he's okay. But Coach Bonner was like, I saw that video of Parker dunking over Navy students, and my first thought when I saw it was like, I hope they were mistaken and he's actually a Navy guy.
For those of you listening out there, search Austin Parker Air Force for this viral dunk. He's an athlete. He's really contributed to the team, had a great game yesterday.
I talked to him last night at the hotel when I got back from the last game, and he was just so excited to be here, his first year at the tournament, and he's been playing lights out. Excited to see him play later this afternoon.
Yes, he will be a mainstay for that Air Force team for years to come, however long he wants to play.
And a traveling violation by Navy. 53-29 the score here. 12:36 to play between the Navy and the Marines.
Navy down here 24, but a lot of that might be due to some fatigue. Navy's making less substitutions than the Marines, leaving a good number of their starters and key players on the bench, but they're still competing and playing hard.
Navy gets the rebound. Brunswick wants a three. Yes.
Brunswick, again, we've mentioned his name a lot this afternoon. If he's not making plays for his teammates, he's capable of putting the ball in the basket himself.
Karen LeBron, and on cue, Jack Brunswick with the long rebound. Lindstrom, open look for three. Get a few more of those to fall, and Navy could be right back in it.
Lindstrom's not shy from putting it up on the outside. We've seen him connect earlier in the game. Brunswick continues to find him.
So Brunswick picks up foul number 2. Ross with the and one opportunity. Ross, has 12 points so far in the game.
He's really had a great showing for the Marines in this game. Ready to step in and step up when his number was called.
Trey Keaton. And it's Ross back down with the rebound.
Doing it on both ends. If he's not putting the ball in the bucket, he's cleaning up the glass from the guard spot.
Brunswick helped get that ball for Navy, dove for it. Love the hustle in a game that's just for pride.
Right, and that just speaks to the character of these individuals, these teams, and who and what they represent.
Ross nearly slid into the practice court on the other side of the yellow barrier there.
Good thing the curtain was down. He might have kept going for a couple of other feet.
Niang picks up his 4th foul. And I think there's some Navy guys over there saying, hey, don't pick up that 5th foul. This is my day off. Shot goes down for Ross.
Again, the rest is going to be very advantageous for Navy heading into tomorrow's championship game. This is the 6th straight day of basketball. Playing NCAA rules, 40-minute games. They're intense, up and down. They've really exerted themselves this week, every day.
Navy averaging 76 points a game as a team in this tournament. So whoever they play, as Brunswick drops in a bucket, whoever they play, it's gonna have their hands full.
They are, and I've mentioned this numerous times, but Navy's half-court sets, their execution, their motion offense, their set plays, their individual skilled players that they have capable of beating you inside and outside. They're really a complete team, and there's no accident coming into this game why they're 4-1. And kudos to Marines, for giving them their lone loss. That just goes to show any team can beat any other team on any given day. But Navy's had a great showing in the first 5 days.
And the rebound taken down by Navy. The Marines in the third game of this tournament beat Navy 81-73 for their lone win of this tournament to date, as Ross up and in and a foul. Jacody Ross has taken over this game, Joel.
He has. In this setting, he's been the leader for this Marine squad. And who knows, you know, in years to come, perhaps he'll be in the rotation a little bit more.
See the foul right there. 11 points in the second half for Ross to go along with his 8 points in the first half.
Coming into this game, he had 2 points total for the tournament, and those came last night. So good for him to get some run, show what he can do.
Misses the free throw there. You know, what was great about that game for the Marines when they beat Navy was the fact that John Carter had 25 points despite sitting most of the first half. If you recall, he got 90 seconds. He got, you know, 2 or 3, I think it was 3 fouls or 2 fouls. So it just a team effort.
Carter, obviously one of the best players in this tournament. So that bodes well for the Marines and the rest of their capable personnel.
I mean, we don't have a vote, but I mean, John Carter has to be on the all-tournament team.
One would think that he's going to make that all-tournament team.
I mean, it's not an all-tournament team unless he's on it. The performance he's had this week.
Yeah, he's
IMO, in my opinion.
In our opinion, I agree with you, partner.
Iowa for 3. Under 9 minutes to play here in this one. 62-36. And Nyan Ashley, he's got a nice day. 16 points.
He's had a, yes, partner, he's had a great day showing his entire skill set. If he's not catching it off the rim to put it back, he's shows that he has a post game there, capable of finishing, playing above the rim. Defensively, he's been active when the Marines were pressing at the top of their press.
3 fouls on Jacody Ross. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well.
Cinderella, this drip, hella, need an umbrella. What you do, I do better. Step up on the scene like a Kim Masquerada. If I want it, I can cop it, I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it, got no time to party. I ain't to the money, ain't nobody really for me. Ain't nobody really for me. Girl, give me a fortune. Picture me rolling in a drop top.
Back to live action here at the Smith Fitness Center, day 6 of this 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships as Jack Brunswick puts up a 3. The Marines lead 64-36 in a game that they led by 12 at halftime. They've extended it out here in this second half. 19 points for Jacody Ross as Joe Garello launches a 3. That's his 3rd of the game.
Great out-of-timeout play by Coach Mitchell.
Garello now with 8 trays in the tournament.
He's one of the better shooters in this tournament.
And the Marines here in this game kind of reminded me of last night as you see the bucket in and out, but the rebound taken down by Joe Stone, and that shot is going to go down for Cam Williams. But it reminds me of the Air Force women last night. They were having so much fun playing the game. Marines are having that kind of fun today.
They are. It's not difficult to have fun when you're up 34 points.
Nice block from Ashley right there. You see John Carter right there on the bench, former Naval Academy midshipman. Carter averaging 23.6 points a game in this tournament. It's a no-doubter. It's a no-brainer. And a shot clock violation.
Perhaps his running mate, who we saw there beside him, Chris Harris, will get a couple of votes.
I would think so, averaging 15 points a game for the Rockford, Illinois native. I mean, how those two go is how Marine basketball is going to go. Nice bucket there, and Cam Williams, last few possessions, making his presence felt.
He has outside, inside, showing his versatility and how capable he is as an offensive player. Great play there by Navy. Saw Ayala come to the pinch post, the elbow, and immediately backdoor cut, finding Lindstrom on the layup. That's good basketball.
Ten points for Brody Lindstrom in his first start of the tournament. Lindstrom is a petty officer, second class out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Stationed in Romania. That's kind of cool. I mean, just saying.
Welcome back to the States for a little bit.
Yeah. Keaton lays it up and in. He's got 10 points.
Yeah, he's had a nice showing this afternoon as well. I wonder if some of the players that we see here for Navy are able to crack the rotation for tomorrow's championship game and maybe play some meaningful minutes.
I mean, some guys have showed some range. You never know. You know Mike Urbana's over there watching intently. Nwosu, he has looked real good today as well.
Yes, he has. Another good athlete in the tournament. Plays above the rim, finishes around the rack.
LeBron chases down the long rebound and an offensive foul. Nice job by Trey Keaton.
Hold on, get out.
That's the second on LeBron. Clock at 4:33. You'll get a good look there at the players for Navy. Matt Sellers, Dakota Ayala there. Noah Valdez at the end of the bench. Coast Guard. Matt Sellers, big body in the paint for Navy.
Yes, soft touch, back to the basket player, traditional post player. A lot of basketball has gotten away from true centers. Sellers is one of those guys who reminds you of a true five.
14 points now in the game for Cam Williams. It's a scoring fest. And another big bucket for the Navy.
At this point, Navy just wants to get out of here healthy, rested, get off their feet, prepare for tomorrow, whatever preparation they have, be it film, practice, shoot around, any team activity. get ready for Championship Thursday.
Ball out of bounds in favor of the Air Force, and timeout on the floor. Dennis Murphy and Navy gonna chat. 3:16 to play.
Straight up like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when I come through you. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Shut down. Ooh, give me that crown. I need that now, right now. Ooh, don't make a sound. It's my time. You hear the crowd. We need that rain. Me and my team. Deja vu. This here a dream. We done all seen 100 times over back when we was just teens. Now we going dumb. Told them we the one. They would count us out. Now we counting up the funds. Now without a doubt, they be throwing other ones. They was always ready.
Final 3:15 or so of this one from the Smith Fitness Center between the USMC and the Navy. Final day of pool play. Tomorrow, consolation and championship games. Programming note, though, will be on the air an hour earlier. Joel was excited about that when he saw the schedule. The 11 a.m. tip.
Yes, tune in 1 hour earlier than we've normally been coming on the air. Don't miss the first part of the action.
Got a cot for you all lined up on the other side of that yellow curtain.
Rest is essential, partner.
It truly is. Get that Pedialyte in.
The players aren't the only ones who have to recover.
Missed three from Navy. 77-45, and I guess we'll run through it, right? 21 points for Jacody Ross, 16 for Nyon Ashley, 14 for Cameron Williams, leading the scoring column for the Marines. Those three certainly have showed out today.
Yes, they have. And again, something to build upon for the future. These young players putting on a great performance, resulting in a 32-point lead currently.
Nwosu picks up a foul very late on that possession. That's the fourth one on him. So Ashley will be at the line. First time in the game, he's been at the free throw line. Ashley had 17 points scored in the tournament coming into play today. He's put up 17, make it 18. He did have an 11-point game against Navy the last time these two teams hooked up.
Great part of that win. We talked about the Marines being the only team to give Navy a loss.
13 points for Brody Lindstrom leads the scoring column for Navy, 10 for Keaton.
It'll be interesting to see if any of the players on the court tomorrow, we'll see them tomorrow in the championship game. We know Brunswick is in their rotation. We saw Niang yesterday for the first time have some meaningful minutes.
Thinking if you need a three, I wouldn't be afraid to put Lindstrom in to try one.
He's not shy.
And tall, too. I mean, 6'5" and can shoot.
Navy has some depth.
Hard to crack that starting lineup. I imagine Mike Bonner's smiling every time he fills out his starting lineup.
Yeah, he has some players on his side.
35 seconds to play. And Cam Williams missed the shot. Shot clock is off here. Nope, they reset it to 20. No timeout is called. No timeout. I think both teams' players thought it was going to be a timeout. Coach Mitchell said, I don't want a timeout. I don't want a timeout here. So they're going to run this last 25 seconds here. I mean, it's Coach said, I didn't want a timeout. And the Marines are just going to dribble this one out here. There's going to be a shot clock violation, so there'll be a turnover.
Yeah, up 36, no point in attempting more shots. This game is in the bag. Great showing at the end of the double round robin portion. They will play in tomorrow's consolation game against the loser of that Army Air Force game at 4 p.m.
Big time output from Jacody Ross, 21 points, 18 points for Nyan Ashley. Cam Williams chipped in 14. Brody Lindstrom coming out party for Navy. He had 13 in the loss. That's going to wrap up our coverage. Don't forget the Marine women and the Navy women. They're coming up next. That should be a good tilt for my partner Joel Hines and our entire second audio visual squadron crew. I'm Dan Hawkins. So long from Fort Moore.